Mumbai real estate is the crown of the country. What Mumbai real estate does, the entire country follows.
Anything on Delhi?
Delhi can grow radially in a 360. There's more land.
I know Mumbai considers luxury above 3 crores, but in Bangalore,
Above 10.
Yeah, above 10 crores. Yeah, sorry. Here it's
For all the Telugu people who are working outside India who have planned to come back, Hyderabad is the only place which offers that type of jobs.
So you feel Hyderabad is eating up Pune's and Bangalore's tech share?
Google ka world's biggest headquarter after Mountain View, Hyderabad. Microsoft ka world's biggest headquarter after Seattle, Hyderabad. People who are staying in anywhere apart from AP Telangana and investing in Hyderabad is around 20%.
How many are NRIs?
NRIs almost 40%, 40-45%.
God.
There are certain places of Hyderabad which will look like absolutely like Singapore.
Why is there an awareness issue when it comes to Hyderabad as a city in terms of investment?
The problem is compared to MMR, NCR and Bangalore, Hyderabad has less number of organized developers.
all in Mumbai that's happening is you're building blocks in the air. Why does a block in the air have so much value?
Where can we go?
There's water from all sides. The only way to go is up. And it also sees the maximum migration from tier 2 every year compared to every other city.
Like I've been shouting out loud that if you want to invest and you want to make money, generational wealth,
Then you go there.
then you go on the other side of the Atal Setu.
So first we'll start with introduction itself. I would want Chandrika, you to begin. Just talk about what do you do.
So I'm a finance content creator. I've been in the industry for the last 2.5 to 3 years. Before that I used to work with KPMG. So I'm a certified management accountant and an internal auditor as well. So I was a professional before I got into content creation as a whole. So that time while I was in KPMG, I did see a lot of issues that the salaried class used to face when it comes to taxes, understanding the pay slips and insurance, everything, right? So that's when I actually got the idea of starting personal finance content creation. Before that, I was into derivatives trading and everything, and then I thought, okay, this is the key, because KPMG made me stop trading, right? So I can't trade while working. So then I shifted my niche towards personal finance, and that's how I've been in the industry. Today, I do run a small finance media company called Dine. It's in the information segment, finance as a whole. So we are building an ecosystem for people to learn all about money in one place. So that's how
Perfect.
it is.
Mayank?
So my name is Mayank Agarwal. I'm a real estate professional. I got into real estate through land aggregation in 2012. And in 2021, we started our Instagram channel to reduce customer acquisition cost for our clients and to get builders like the gentleman on my left. We also started primary broking division in 2016. Primary, for those who don't know, is when you sell a builder's inventory. So we don't do resale, we don't do rentals. We do primary and we do land acquisition. And then in 2022, we started an edtech platform, which is, we make courses only for real estate professionals. That's called EdState. So these things keep us busy.
Ravi?
Me, I'm a second generation real estate agent. We operate in Mumbai, in Dubai, and just recently in Pune also. The business was started by my father back in 1988. He was an investor, a real estate investor, and then after he passed away, instead of me going into investing, I went into brokerage to understand the business. And in 2020, I started my social media journey with YouTube, moved to Instagram, got some good responses, got some notoriety and some fame, I guess. And I guess that has all brought me here.
Perfect. Thanks. Okay. Thanks. Ajitesh.
My name is Ajitesh, and I'm a developer from Hyderabad. I started my company in 2017. I come from a real estate family background, and then after working with my dad for 3 years, we had creative differences, and then I set up another company, and then I started my journey. So I'm really passionate about real estate and technology, and what the confluence of both of these things can do.
Right. Okay. So before we discuss real estate today in India, I want you to take us through thoda history of Indian real estate, be it like you can talk about Pan India or Bombay, Delhi, Hyderabad, Bangalore, whatever. Just take us to maybe from 1980s, 90s, so that the viewers have perspective of where we are coming from. Then we'll discuss the current status, then what we see going forward.
See, I'll talk particular things particular to Hyderabad because I'm from there. I understand more information around it. See, basically like probably if we take from 1980, right, most part of the developments in the city used to happen around, you just make a layout, like a plotted layout, and then people used to build their homes in, in those colonies, what we used to call. So that was the predominant format of real estate consumption from 1980s to, I would say, 90s. Then from 90s to 2000, 2015, it was like standalone buildings, right? From an individual house, people migrated more because the urbanization increased, the density of land increased, then people wanted, naturally land prices shot up, so to compensate for that, then came the standalone building wala era. So from 1990 to 2005. Then 2005 is when first, there was a lot of global capital coming into real estate. It was before the Great Recession. So that is when first scale of, I would say organized large scale development called gated communities, right? Be it particularly in the the villa segment, the single family home segment started coming up. Then from 2010 onwards, then you started seeing large scale condominiums, like large apartments wala gated communities coming. Now naturally over the last from 2018 onwards, the city is going through a major boom. So now we are seeing all high rises. By high rise I would say most buildings which are like 120 meter and above. Now Hyderabad has almost 8% of pura India ka high rises are in Hyderabad. So now the city is really scaling. Even in terms of employment, right, it started like from IT services, low end IT BPO jobs in late 90s and early 2000s. Then I would say going up a notch above, and now we are totally on IT product. After Bangalore, second highest in close competition with Gurgaon in the startup ecosystem, and even R&D for major tech companies. This is how the demography has been changing from an employment perspective.
Right. Mayank, if you can talk about Bombay.
Sure, I'll give you a little brief history on Bombay real estate. Now, before 1990s, real estate has been organized not just in Bombay but in India. There was Pagdi system, it's still relevant today as well. But a lot of buildings in Mumbai, South Mumbai were Pagdi. They still are.
What is Pagdi like?
Basically, the tenant is he's a semi-owner, but he's still a tenant.
Okay.
Every time you sell the flat, you have to give transfer fee of about 33-35% to the original landlord, and you can't evict them.
Okay.
And so, for example, if RK was to buy a Pagdi property through me, who's a tenant, I can sell it to him after the landlord's permission, but I'll have to give him 33%.
Okay, so he gets a commission.
And the rent that you pay is 500 rupees or 1000 rupees locked at that rate. Lesser than that.
Like 20 rupees, 10 rupees. This
22,
this is
in
what,
Agency
80s?
Road, it's about 500 rupees, which was locked, frozen, not even adjusted against inflation.
Ages ago, it's like maybe when we got independence.
50 years ago, 60 years
when we
ago.
got independence sort of thing.
Crazy, wow.
Right. So, Pagdi was relevant a lot in places like even Calcutta, the old presidential towns. Then I think in 1991, CRZ came into place. That was pan-India, but it affected Bombay a lot because Mumbai is on the coast, which it regulates
Coastal
construction
regulation.
from coastal regulation zoning from 0 meters to 500 meters from the high tide line. That affected Bombay a lot. I would say almost in a decent way, where the supply near the coast reduced. Marine Drive, whatever you see, is built before 1991. Right, all those were built before. Then I think in 1990s is where we started seeing the initial townships because of Hiranandani in Powai.
Yeah.
Right, they I think were the
One
pioneers,
of the pioneers of
first
that movement in India.
smart cities.
Yeah.
And we started seeing expansion in other places like Powai, which right now is a capital, is a hub. But that time the leopards and all used to come there in Powai, right? So I think 1990s was very crucial for the smart townships, and then obviously people start copying the one success
right?
model, right? Then fast forward to 2000s, according to me, was extremely important for Mumbai real estate, because that is when the redevelopment of cotton mills started happening. Your Lower Parel, your Lodha Park, your prime buildings, at least in the Lower Parel, it was all cotton mills redevelopment, and the redevelopment thing kind of started, which is very, very critical. Also, the Pagdi building started getting redeveloped as well, right? Very crucial time, and Bombay obviously saw that growth, and then we saw the downfall in 2008, 2009, then 2010 to 13 again we saw the growth, and then it was steady growth. Then of course demonetization, Modi ji with his googly, and I think demonetization, at least those 4 months, it was very, very volatile. We didn't know what was happening. Market slowed down, at least where we are in the land acquisition business. Then RERA came in, GST came in, lot of compliances. I think 15 to 17 was a
Yeah, it was a very turbulent
filled with
period.
Compliances, uncertainties with GST coming in, RERA coming in, demonetization happening in, and then COVID, right? So 2019-20
Primarily
COVID.
15-16 was impacted because of the cash thing, or like what happened?
Cash,
exactly?
see, let's be
Yeah.
honest, cash is a predominant part of real estate. So demonetization then, of course, slows down real estate. Followed by GST, which is it's an additional, depending about 12% additional
Yes,
a person
in
has
the
to pay
beginning.
on a residential apartment. So that's, देखो आप 1 करोड़ का घर ले रहे हो, 12% 12 lakhs हो गया उसके ऊपर, right? And RERA, of course. RERA, I think, was very good for the industry.
Yeah.
At least the sentiment grew with RERA.
Yeah.
Right? And then fast forward, then you go to COVID. Initially when COVID struck, obviously there was a lot of uncertainty in Bombay real estate. Rates had corrected. Initially, I remember builders calling us and giving us like 10% discount on the bottom price, which
on
is a
the
lot.
properties.
At that time, 10-15%. But immediately after 3 months, the table
Tightened.
and then we started seeing appreciation. And what COVID did was it brought a holiday home. The holiday home segment actually lit up again.
What do you mean by that?
Holiday home. Now see, people wanted bigger homes in Bombay, and we started seeing people shifting from 2 beds to 3 beds. But not everyone could do that because a 3 bed is expensive in Bombay. You can't have a backyard in Bombay. So people started getting into the holiday home culture where you'll go to perhaps a Lonavala, Alibag, Karjat, outskirts of Bombay, and you buy farmland and you build a villa there, and you live that holiday home farmhouse life,
Got it.
which people didn't appreciate as much in a dense city like Bombay before COVID. But after COVID, you want open space, you want to be near the nature.
Closer to nature.
So that market really picked up.
Yeah.
And now you have big brands coming in that segment as well. And that segment started giving good margins to developers as well, and because it finally had a demand, a consistent demand. Though it's still a holiday home segment is still very nascent compared to first home segment. But COVID, I feel, really helped
Sort of fueled
sales of
it.
luxury. Luxury sales grew, bigger homes started selling, and holiday homes started selling in COVID.
Also the culture of, because work from home also came in. You could
Yeah.
have a
Work from
house in the middle of the city as well as in a
Correct.
Lonavala and Karjat.
Plus, the government reduced the stamp duty as well.
Yeah.
For that.
That was
period
a
of
good
time.
thing for Bombay,
Yeah.
actually.
Stamp duty
Sort of
उस time I think
stimulate.
5-6% से 2% हो गया था. So a lot of registrations happened. In fact, that's the time when I had booked a property as well, because you're getting a 4% discount from the government. When will you get it again? So that boosted sales again. Liquidity got injected back
Is
in
it
the
still
market.
there or?
No, now it's back to normal.
Rolled back.
Home loan interest was at the all-time low.
Yeah.
So we saw a lot of sales and great time for the industry. Not just Bombay, but I'm guessing pan India as well.
Pan-India.
Anything to add on the Bombay history?
Mumbai real estate is the crown of the country. It's as simple as that. What Mumbai real estate does, the entire country follows. If Mumbai real estate is on the high, everybody else will make money in the entire country. If Mumbai real estate is stagnant, everybody starts shivering. If Mumbai real estate goes down, everybody gets pneumonia.
It's like the US of the world.
No, it's like the New York of the country.
India.
If Mumbai sneezes, India gets a cold. If Mumbai gets a cold, India gets pneumonia. That is how I look at it. The majority of the monies pass through Mumbai, is the financial capital of the country. We have 2 stock exchanges. It is a very, very integral part of the country's GDP. Real estate attributes, if I'm not
8%.
8% of the entire country's GDP. Out of that 8%, Mumbai's real estate has a significant chunk of it. Unfortunately, we do not have the exact data of how much does the Mumbai real estate affect, but I would very easily estimate it to be anywhere between 30 to 40% bare minimum of the entire 8% of the real estate GDP. So Mumbai real estate in general has an extreme impact on the real estate community, the real estate industry of the entire country.
Would you agree with this? Because
I do see one thing is a lot of capital, right? Real estate is capex heavy, right? There's a lot of money which you need to put during the construction process.
Yeah.
Almost all the banks which lend to real estates, financial institutions, are headquartered in Bombay, right? So naturally, if let's say I'm a banker working out of Bombay, right? So I understand the Bombay market much better. So whatever happens in the Bombay market influences my understanding of the real estate market. So that is there.
Fair.
However, I see in the future going forward, gift city say investments are picking up.
yeah.
Like foreign capital,
What
gift city, Gujarat
City.
International
Okay.
Financial
This is on
Trade
that,
Center, yeah.
At Dolera city, which is there.
Ah,
Gift city,
like
Dolera
that,
city.
yeah. But gift is a little bit more established. A lot of foreign capital moving into India. The financial structures to create multiple structures easier through the gift city. Regulation is more easier. It's got more established way. So eventually it might change a little bit, but still, every 1 rupee which is lent to the sector, 90 paisa of that just happens from Bombay. So yeah, it controls the entire thought space.
I've lived in Bangalore and I have seen that Bangalore has an independent economy thanks to the tech ecosystem also, which is not dependent upon the Bombay ecosystem as such. And even if anything happens in Bombay, Bangalore has an independent thing. Is that not the case in like a Bangalore or
It is
Hyderabad?
Bangalore, Hyderabad, Gurgaon,
Where do
Chennai
they get
again.
the financing from?
Exactly. See, this is where the customer demand is going to come from, but the capital comes only from Bombay.
Supply.
Where
Right.
do the VCs, like the venture capitalists, who put money in all of these tech
Bangalore.
companies?
Financial capital,
Yeah.
it's all Bombay. So yeah, the money, the blood which runs the economy comes from Bombay. So they have the advantage, and in spite of, I would say,
Mumbai is the
infrastructure
ATM. It is the ATM machine.
It is.
Let's be honest.
There you go.
Got it. Okay. Anything on Delhi?
On Delhi, I've been
Delhi
there
and
for-
Bangalore.
Yeah, on Bangalore, I would say, like, as far as I can remember, I don't know the history of Bangalore real estate, but it all started with the IT boom that happened. It all started from there because till then it was majorly the locals in Bangalore. Once IT started booming, you see so many people, and now Bangalore is made up of so many extensions. All this Whitefield things coming after Whitefield. It's
Sarjapur,
actually not a part of Bangalore, it's an extended part of Bangalore. So that is just expanding. And when it comes to real estate, as far as I know, it's the startup ecosystem also that kind of
Yeah.
fueled the demand. Same thing with Gurgaon as well, right? Delhi NCR, Noida. I feel it's the same thing again. And in terms of prices, I feel Bangalore sees lesser appreciation when it comes to other cities, and it's much economical. I feel Hyderabad, Delhi,
after
and Bangalore
Hyderabad,
have
yeah.
very similar pricings compared to Mumbai. Right?
Mumbai is in a different trajectory. People
Mumbai
like
can't
Delhi-
be compared in this
But
thing
Delhi
for sure.
also has some really nice properties and very expensive also.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
right.
only
the
very
higher
small,
range is
very
still
small
there.
section,
Higher
like
range
very
is
small
still
section
there.
of Gurgaon and these.
But I feel
areas,
Bombay is a
the
more
golf links.
matured luxury market.
Yeah, that's
See what DLF does, you can't say, okay, Gurgaon did what DLF did.
correct.
Correct.
That's
DLF
only
is an
one
outlier.
pocket.
Yeah.
Mumbai, you'll find 200 luxury developments.
Makes
More
sense.
Right, in
of-
Delhi
it's
you
not
have
an
a few.
outlier.
Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 developers or 3 developers doing
Yeah.
operating in the in
No,
that
all the
space.
cities that you mentioned, only we have a sea. The sea view is
Yeah.
only with us.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
have it, you don't
We
have
don't
it.
have
none-
water, right? Like so, we have,
We have large-
other issues.
Also, look, Mumbai is expensive because, I said it last time with you as well, because it's surrounded by water from 3 sides. There is no land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delhi can grow radially in a 360. There's
Correct.
more land.
Same with
Bombay
Bangalore.
can't.
Same with,
With Hyderabad.
Hyderabad still has.
Hyderabad a lot
water.
of land
Yeah.
and like very good road connectivity also. We have got
Outer
Outer
ring
which
and all
connects
that, right,
like
yeah.
750 square kilometers or no, even more I guess, whatever. But that connects like large amount of land supply got unleashed because of that. So that way, it's
Any financial capital on the coast will be expensive worldwide.
yeah. So you look at London, Hong Kong, New
Your
York.
New York, LA, they're
Nice.
all expensive.
Good point. What are the fastest growing cities right now in India? In
See, the
mid
last
segment?
10 years, if you look at statistically, 12% growth rate has been given by Hyderabad because the pent up demand was there. Like if you look at the
mid segment,
mid-segment,
and mid segment is
mid-
defined as 75 lakhs to 2 crore.
yes, yes.
50 to 1 crore, no?
Mid segment is 50. Let's catch the premium segment, 1 to 2 crore wala segment.
1
to 2
That grew a lot. See, last 10 years, across cities, mid segment didn't do great.
Okay.
Because
Yes,
there was
very-
pressure on the margin of the developer, and if you look at the launches over the last 3-4 years, right, they're considerably down. But the premium segment has done exceptionally well, right? Compared to all cities, statistically, Hyderabad has given 12% ROI compounded annually
Yeah.
growth rate for the last 10 years.
2015 to 2020.
2015 to 2025, 24, like that period, right? Bombay is around.
Explain an example. For example, in 2015, I would have
invested 1 crore.
Yeah.
Today it would be worth 3 crores, 3.1 crores. In Bangalore is second highest.
Yeah.
To invest 1 crore, you would land with 2.36 crores.
And last year also, as per like the data, right, Bangalore saw the highest surge in the luxury part.
Yeah.
That is basically 1 to 3 crores in
I'll
Bangalore.
come to the luxury segment.
I know Mumbai considers luxury above 3 crores, but in
Above 10
Bangalore,
Above 10.
Yeah, above 10 crores. Yeah, sorry. Here it's above 1
RK is
to 3.
making-
It's of
No, you
50%.
should-
Alien to
No,
this
what?
concept of 1 crore.
No. When it comes to luxury, Bombay, we should ask what sort of square footage you get for that.
Huh.
Probably
That is luxury in Bangalore.
in Hyderabad as well.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
space.
But yeah, you get the sea view.
Yeah.
You don't get that.
Out of a pigeonhole. So
I don't care about the CV. Coming back to the point, 1 crore you invest, you will get 3 crores in Hyderabad.
Hyderabad.
Yeah.
Around 2.4 in Bangalore. NCR has done bad because it has gone through a significant slump. So
NCR is in Delhi, Noida,
Delhi,
Gurgaon,
that
as well as
region.
that.
So that's there you're getting around 170, 180. Bombay around 210. That's what is the 1 crore invested 10 years back.
So why is Bombay third?
Why is Mumbai third? See, there are a lot of transactions that can happen within this 50 lakhs, 70 lakhs, 1, 2 CR. In Mumbai, if you want to get at an average price of say 30,000 rupees per square feet, at Hyderabad is 10,000 rupees per square feet. We are 3x. At Bangalore, you're
10 to
at
12.
You're
yeah.
around 15k range.
Yeah.
7,000, no?
15.
Luxury,
Bangalore is
yeah,
not
you
15.
can say 50.
So Hyderabad is 7 to 10,000.
10k. I'm talking like the prime city centers.
Okay.
So 10k, 15k, and 30,000 is what the statistics say. But the on-ground reality is anywhere between 45,000 to 55,000 rupees per square feet. Now, how many people have that deep pockets? I'll give you a statistics. You guys want to talk statistics? I'll talk statistics.
please.
And Mayank can kind of confirm or deny what I'm saying. You have 70% out of the 100% pool of the sales that happen in Mumbai. 70% of it happens in the northern suburbs as well as the central suburbs. Central suburbs are like Kanjurmarg, Vikhroli, whatever are the other areas around that, and then the northern suburbs are something like Kandivali, Borivali,
Makabo area.
Yeah, Makabo area. Now in Mumbai, if you're just talking about Mumbai, I'm not even talking about MMR, which will also include your Thane and then few other
Mumbai.
Virar and all of those
Yeah.
things. 70% of the transactions happen over there, where you get a 1 bedroom at an average of around 80 to 90 lakhs. All right, after the taxes and everything, completely including, and you get a 350 square feet to 425 square feet of an apartment in a 1 bedroom.
That's carpet.
Carpet.
Okay.
That's a rare carpet that you're looking at. So you're getting small,
80
tiny, as
lakhs
you
for 1
mentioned.
BHK.
90 lakhs, around 90 lakhs to 1 crore for a 1 BHK. All right.
Okay. And
Now,
that too in Makabo area.
yeah, you're further out, and you are central locations. So coming back to the point, 70% of the transactions are in that location. The remaining 30% of the transactions are in the premium suburbs of Bandra, Khar, Santa Cruz, Juhu, Andheri, and you're going towards South Mumbai.
Correct.
But when you look at the monies, they are equal.
see, simple question: what will give you more returns, a large cap or a small cap? Right? The answer is of course small cap. When it does
terms
well,
of
give you a
percentage
percentage,
return,
right?
yeah,
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Mumbai is more matured. Now you talk about Mumbai city, but let's talk about MMR, which is counting the
Virar,
outskirts of
Thane and
Mumbai
all
as
that.
well.
Yeah.
We can give examples, like I'll give you an example of Alibag because that's why we are extremely active. We have a wing there. If you had put 1 crore in 2019, forget 2015, that would have been 5 crores right now. Maybe 6, right? That's Alibag because that was the small cap.
Which
Close
went,
to Bombay.
A lower base,
Bombay is
essentially
matured.
lower base.
There is no and see Bombay still does MMR. Let's count MMRs. It's still number 1 in sales
In terms of market
as a
sales,
region.
yes.
Yeah, market sales, luxury sales, MMR as a region. So if you look at satellite towns within MMR, like for example, Dombivli is given 45% in the last 5 years, which is not bad.
What's the cost of 1 BHK in Hyderabad?
We don't build 1 BHKs.
What is the minimum?
2.
Minimum is 3 now.
3 BHK is the minimum.
3
3
BHK.
BHK say around what is it?
1700 square feet saleable. Carpet hoga around 1100. 1100
And
square
how much
feet
do you sell it for?
Yeah.
If it's a prime city center, that would cost you around 1.75 crore. If it's like 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes from the prime city center, it will cost around 1.25.
So 1100 square feet at around 10,000, 11,000 rupees
Yes.
per square feet. And
Yes.
this is considered to be premium, this is considered to be mid-segment. Like what is it, the category of the property, is that considered to be a premium property or is it
A
completely?
1700 is
Upper
like
mid.
a upper mid.
Upper mid.
Premium is like 22-2500
Yeah.
wala range.
This
3
is not
BHK.
carpet, this is saleable unit.
Saleable,
What is the
sorry.
carpet area?
Carpet would be 1100.
1100 to 1300?
Yeah, 6.6.
Similar.
Whatever. 1700 पे
1100
So
is
the
16.
size is the same, but it
Similar.
would cost how much in South Mumbai and say anywhere in a good Worli area?
7
Lower
crores.
Parel, forget Worli, lower Parel.
7-8 crores.
8 crores?
Yeah.
So around 70,000 rupees per square feet?
Yeah.
65,000?
Plus tax जोड़ना है.
हाँ,
Let's add the
taxes
tax
अलग.
as well.
That is add another
Taxes
tax.
अलग है, taxes अलग.
This is primary market.
Yeah. Primary market in Hyderabad, you will get 1200 square feet
1.75
carpet.
crores.
How many people can you
1.75.
get who wants to spend 1.75, 1.25, how much you say?
1.75.
1.75 crores and how many people at 7.5 crores?
Yeah, a lot of people here. So it's a good thing, no? If I can invest
मैं क्या मना कर रहा हूँ?
3 BHK. Yeah.
Bangalore is also very close.
It's very
to the
similar.
same.
What's the rate at Bangalore for 3 BHK? 2.5 crores, na?
नहीं हाँ हाँ
Going
बस
same.
3 BHK will be around 3 crores.
3 crores.
Yeah.
So, Bangalore is
2
only
BHK will be around
25%.
same 1.5 to 2.
Like
And then
Bangalore.
3,500 is minimum starting area for the
Minimum
villas
area,
and
right?
everything.
Yeah.
And this is in Bannerghatta. Recent stats. So even if you see that, yeah, very close to Bangalore, little higher maybe. But not anywhere close to Mumbai.
Bombay, yeah.
But people
What is
would
the-
want to come to Bangalore.
People?
Would want to come to Bangalore.
Yeah, I want to go to all over the country. I enjoy my country. I love my country. I want to go everywhere. Hyderabad, Bangalore, Delhi. I want to go everywhere. I was there at Delhi and I saw all of those places. I was staying where at Taj. I was staying and all around it there was such nice Rashtrapati
That's
Bhavan.
Lutyens, right?
Yeah, Lutyens. Yeah,
That's actually one of the most expensive places.
That is the
Yeah.
most expensive.
Yeah.
That is the most
That's very
expensive.
expensive.
I wanted to ask him a question. Between the prime area, the most prime area, I'm guessing is Banjara Hills and
Gachibowli,
Gachibowli, versus the most prime area of Bangalore. What is more expensive?
Bangalore.
Bangalore is expensive.
Bangalore is now the primest area is around 18,000. Hyderabad is around 10,000. The one key difference is Bangalore has limited FSI, right? Bangalore where you can build 3.25 plus another 0.6 loading.
Right.
Hyderabad is unlimited, right? Because you're building more than unlimited, I would say IFSI, provided your land is abutting a 6-lane road. If it's not, then you can't build much, okay? If it's abutting a 4-lane or 2-lane road, then you can only build like 15 floors.
Right.
If it's abutting a 6-lane road, then because like good amount of land
What is the height limit though?
Depending, see if your land is abutting a 6-lane road, the southwest, like the financial district area, you get around 150 meter to 200 meter. Aggregate, you can take 120 meter. So that is, you will get around 40 floors if your land is abutting a 6-lane road.
With an 11 feet internal height, you're looking at around 45.
40 floors, 40 floors plus give and take. If your land is abutting a 4-lane road or a 2-lane road, then the maximum height you can build is 45 meter, irrespective of whatever is the airport height.
So FSI is not a restriction for you guys whatsoever.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not. So that is the reason that compensates for that reduction in pricing
Right.
compared to Bangalore.
Because then you start calculating cost of FSI and not cost
Exactly,
of land.
and it will be passed on to the end user.
I have one question to the Mumbai guys. Okay, all in Mumbai that's happening is you're building blocks in the air, right? Why is it then increasing so much? Why does a block in the air have so much value? You know, your house gets attached to land, and you know, even the independent, like I said, villas are also pretty cheap compared to Mumbai there. But here it's just in the air, and
Because where else will you go? Right?
then how is the demand there? Like,
Because
what do you
see,
see?
number one, I think Mumbai just contributes a lot to India's GDP as a whole. It is a financial capital, and it also sees the maximum migration from tier 2 every year compared to every other city. Mumbai does see the maximum migration. Now they need a place to go. Either they are on rent or they are on if they have to buy. Another thing what's happened in Bombay is redevelopment is happening.
Yeah.
So those building 2 3 so those people need to go on rent again,
Yeah. That's happening.
right?
HLI
and-
migration.
And where else will you go,
Yeah.
right?
It's
where
a
else?
landlocked place, right?
It's a land.
So,
There's
yeah, you
water
only
from
go
all
vertical.
sides. The only way to go is up. So that's why.
Where can we go?
Yeah.
Exactly. On the west, we have the sea. We can't. How much land can we reclaim?
Right.
Right. Then we have the east, which is anyways done. On one side of the east, also we have the eastern seaboard. So this is the tail.
And
Water here,
Beachon mein,
water
just to
here.
add to his point, Beachon mein Sanjay Gandhi National Park.
हाँ, which is like hectares in hectares. उसके बाद में फिर एक लाइन लेके we go all the way up to north तक पहुंच गए, दहीसर तक पहुंच गए. अभी उसके आगे किधर जाएंगे? We are even going towards विरार तो जा रहे हैं, उसके बाद में what is that other place? Palghar and all. We're still continuing forward. Chembur is seeing some growth, which is on the eastern side. Now other places where Pune. Then you go towards Pune. They're building this Mumbai 3.0, which just came. Now that
Where is that around the new airport, the Mumbai 3.0?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? There's a large land available for Sidco or whatever agency, right? Like government agency, some 20,000, 30,000 acres. What do you think? Like a good amount of future development of Bombay is going to shift
25 years.
Next 25 years.
25, 30 years, chill. Not me. My kid will probably see the benefit. So if someone wants to invest in land where the future is good, where you can see another Navi Mumbai Part 3, like Mumbai Part 3, like how they are saying, you go there. Basically, you follow. And I've been telling this, like I've been shouting out loud that if you want to invest and you want to make money, generational wealth.
Then you go there.
Then you go on the other side of the Atal Setu.
Got it.
That's where you go, you buy an acre of land, you forget about it for the next 25 years. Let everything else build around you, and then once that is done, you buy it at 1 lakh per square yard or square meter or gunta or whatever is the rate going over there. And then after 25 years, sell it at 100.
Got it.
So this is where you talk about that 100x,
100x
where people, financial advisors, say that you can make 5x, 10x. You make 100x, no? But you make 25x.
And that's been happening, in outskirts of Bombay because there is no land. We've seen a 500% in 4 or 5 years. And not notional gains, I realize. We bought it for a client, sold it for a client.
See, and there is also this notion, but I think
I'll touch on that point also. In 6 months also, I'll tell you how I made a customer 75 lakhs.
Is it? Okay. But more and more, right? Like it's decreasing over a period of time. But if you look 10 years, 20 years back, 20, 25 years back, Bombay generated more per capita opportunity than any other place in the country. Good, high-paying professional jobs were there only in Bombay. So that psychology also, like you have grown up, you have studied. Where do you go for in search of work? Bombay. Now that's decreasing. Right now it's being taken up by MMR, like NCR, Bangalore. Bangalore is the forefront of that. Then Hyderabad, Chennai.
Correct.
So over a period of next 25 years, I think it's going to see a lot of change.
Yeah, and from a consumer perspective also, let's say I'm investing in a property and I am seeing all these, all the 4 cities. Let's say Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad. Bombay mentioned is 3 crores. Bangalore you mentioned is
4.
Sorry, Bombay is 7 crores. Bangalore is 3 crores.
2 to 3.
Hyderabad is 1.75 crores. Delhi is expensive. So why would I not invest in a Hyderabad or a Bangalore?
Lot of such migration coming in from central India and northern India into Hyderabad. Especially if you are a tech graduate, there's a higher tendency, significantly higher tendency that you're going to land up in Hyderabad and then comes Bangalore. Yeah. Because Hyderabad is much cost of living is significantly lower.
Correct.
Significantly.
Right? How much competition have you guys seen from Pune in the IT sector?
Negligible, at least for these 2 cities, because for Hyderabad and Bangalore, the jobs which are coming up in the tech sector are more in the startup ecosystem, that is advanced tech, right? And in IT companies, IT products and R&D divisions. Whereas Pune mein, it's more on IT services, which is, if you look at the spectrum of IT, it's on the low end side. Okay. That's why Pune mein you have strong sales in the 1 crore wala segment.
Correct.
And then in the 4 crore wala segment. Of course, it's very niche. So Hyderabad and Bangalore are more in the 2 to 3 crore wala range because of startups and IT products and R&D wala business.
In this Mumbai 3.0, the whole focus is on data centers and warehousing.
Data centers don't generate jobs.
Don't
generate any jobs. Like a massive data center with, I don't know, like, I don't know the size of kya hota hai
whatever.
Like this giga scale Amazon ka data center or Microsoft ka data center will have 15 to 20 jobs. That's it.
That's it.
Data center doesn't generate jobs, but in fact, many governments are still, struggling to how to capitalize on this. In fact, AP government is now trying to set up, make Visakhapatnam the sort of a data center capital of India. But from a job perspective, it really doesn't generate those many jobs. But we'll have to wait and see what will happen if a lot of data centers consolidate in one location. What happens, we'll have to wait and see. But they don't generate much jobs.
Okay.
So you mentioned cost of living also. Can you have a quick comparison of cost of living across the 4 cities also, and then we'll come back to the buying the plot wala angle. But what's the cost of living in a Hyderabad, in a Bangalore, Delhi, and Bombay?
I made a lot of stats on this, but yeah, see, to buy a 3 BHK apartment, you want to take it on rent, right? Like in Hyderabad, it costs you 50,000. 50,000, like city center areas I'm talking.
50,000 rupees.
And you want to send your kid to an international school, a primary education, that costs around 2 lakh rupees roundabout. You want to buy a house in prime city area, that's around 10,000 rupees per SFT. That's what is in Hyderabad, and it's the lowest in the country amongst all the major metros.
Mumbai, if you were to rent a 3-bed in a good area, it will cost you 2.5 lakhs. 2 to 2.5 lakhs for a 3-bed.
1.5 lakhs, no? 1.5 lakhs, and maybe 1.5 lakhs.
Generally, if I'm looking at South Bombay, it'll be 2.5 lakhs for a 3-bed.
Okay.
2-bed is about 1.7, 1.8. And if you want to buy, again, 3-bed will be around 8 crores, 2-bed will be around 6 crores with taxes. So I think 4-5 times more costlier.
Costlier than Hyderabad.
Now there's always an argument on the lifestyle you're getting in return, right? I understand the AQI. If you go on that tangent, the AQI is much worse in Bombay. You might feel like you're paying 8 crores to walk on roads that don't exist, right? So that's a fair argument. But what happens is, what does a guy do, right? When you're so deep into a job in Bombay, which is perhaps paying you more, right? What do you do?
Statistically, that's not true.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
How much
But
statistically, it's
percentage
not
of-
true.
Okay,
Now
so
the
the
high-paying jobs are actually in Bangalore and Hyderabad, more
Okay.
than Bombay.
Yeah.
Bombay ka na ye people
Correct.
working in the financial services
No,
wala sector.
Yeah,
So the
Bombay majorly has high net worth individuals who have
Yeah.
built generational wealth.
True.
That is
It has more
unlike
generational
in
Hyderabad
Bangalore
or
and
Bangalore.
Hyderabad.
The new
It's
money is
mostly
coming-
self-built. But in Bombay, you see generational wealth being more.
I mean,
like-
we are struggling. I don't have generational wealth, so I mean, I think I'm on the worst end of the equation.
You can consider shifting to
No,
Hyderabad.
so there's a very interesting point he brought out, right? There's something known as price to income ratio,
Yeah.
and Bombay actually tops the list in terms of most unaffordable city to buy a home,
Yeah.
even more than New York.
Yeah, in
Yes.
the world.
In the
Yeah,
world.
In the
yeah,
world.
In the world.
Yes.
South Bombay is 39x, which means it'll take a average person 39 years of his household income to buy
To buy a
house,
property, yeah.
which not just talks about how expensive Bombay is, but how less the income in Bombay is.
Correct.
Yeah, in relative to the house
You know, at
prices.
times I think we shouldn't really feel proud about these statistics.
What to do?
I think there should be some affordability factor also that should come in. Then there has to be affordable homes. Yeah, no,
The joke in Bombay is to make a house affordable, you have to shrink its size.
Yeah.
Because I think, see, 1 crore, 1.5 crores, 2 crores can get you a significant house, a nice
Absolutely.
house here and there. Then why not in
With
Mumbai?
a
I've
pool
totally
with
agree.
everything.
Maybe the argument, the conversation should be more focused towards trying to get affordability back in Mumbai rather than saying that it is beautiful, it is expensive. We are the topmost thing. How about talking about affordability also? I get so many people who comment about it, talk about it, and they say that अरे हमको घर नहीं मिलता है. There were clients who message me and tell me, sir, I have 50 lakh rupees, I want to invest, and I tell them where.
But
I
also
tell them,
say-
why don't you put it in the
Like
market?
you said, I also think it's wishful thinking, right? How will you?
It's more like aspirational thinking, but still.
I can't change the history of Bombay
Yeah.
to get me an apartment for 1 crore in Malabar Hill. It's not possible. It's
Agree.
wishful
But
thinking.
why Malabar Hill? Don't go to
Yeah,
Malabar
no,
Hill.
for a
If someone-
person who
maybe-
I agree with you.
Yeah,
100%.
go to the eastern suburbs, go to places like
Totally
in
agree.
Goregaon East where you have that section which is completely open. Let's open something up.
Absolutely.
Give benefits to the people who are building it over there. Give a certain side of restrictions. You have done this Pradhan Mantri in Hyderabad. What is that?
That
thing?
Awas Yojana.
Yeah, Awas Yojana. So, what would you say to how would you get something like this in a Mumbai area where you can get some sort of affordability? I don't really know much about that sector.
That segment, huh? See, first and foremost, Bombay में ना the high cost, right? Let's say you're talking 6 crore or 8 crore, उसमें half goes to the government. It neither goes to the landowner, not to the developer, not to the contractor. It goes to the government.
Okay.
So the government has to look at relaxing the FSI or whatever this premium fees, what they call TDR का fees जो है, that has to be reduced. Bombay में that's very high.
Disgusting.
Right? Once those things start
Basically, the
coming down-
limited number of floors you can build, right?
No, to build more floors, you need to pay more premium to the
Correct,
government
correct.
and buy that and then
We
build.
should explain the FSI concept to him, how it works
Yeah.
in Mumbai. Then he will be able to, because TDR is transfer of development rights. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's say I buy an acre of land and I can get like maybe 1 lakh square feet. Then I can go to the government, pay another per SFT maybe 5,000 rupees or 6,000 rupees and buy additional built up space, square footage of another 20,000 square feet. So the cost of my acquisition goes up, right? Even this TDR ka premium which I'm paying, that also I'll be loading on into that's my acquisition cost. So end of the day, when you add all of this, almost let's say you're buying 10 crore ka apartment, 5 crores of that is just going to the government in the format of fees and premiums and all of this. That's the big
Very
problem.
inefficient.
That is the reason Bombay is unaffordable. And in fact, this BMC, right, Mumbai Municipal Corporation, has second highest budget in all of Asia. After Tokyo City, BMC has the highest
It is
budget.
the richest municipality of the country.
Yes, 80,000 crores they have FD,
Yes.
fixed deposit.
80,000
absolutely
crores.
true. 101%.
FD, fixed deposit.
8,000
Imagine.
crores is 1 billion.
I'm in the
10
wrong
billion.
business.
They have 10 billion US dollars in FDs.
Imagine just the interest income.
Yearly you learn $1 billion on
That's
interest.
crazy, dude.
That's the money which BMC has.
So affordability.
Yeah.
So see, for it to become more affordable, they have to reduce this premiums and allow more FSI. If you
That's
allow
a
more
great
FSI,
point you've made, actually.
Right, you allow more FSI, then you can build more.
Hyderabad doesn't have any of these restrictions.
No, we
or
don't.
Bangalore.
That is the
Hyderabad.
reason we are extremely affordable. That is the reason we are attracting the best talent in the country, because the best talent is coming, more companies are coming. Then there's an economic boom, right?
I have a little different take on affordability. Is why not? I mean, it's common sense almost, and it's been happening. If you see, let's talk about MMR, right? Like you rightly said, why Malabar Hill, right? Gone are the days of Malabar Hill, and that's honest, right? Today, the rate from Kolaba almost to Andheri West is almost similar, right? Lower Parel, we never imagined would touch 70,000 a square foot. It's overtaking Kolaba, which is still stuck at 50, right? So what I feel is MMR pockets 1 hour away by train from Mumbai. Like you have Thane, you have Dombivli, there's still land there. There we can and we actually do have affordable homes there in Dombivli. You're still looking at 10,000 rupees a square foot there on carpet. So that is affordable. Now it depends on the person whether they want that whole Bombay vibe and they want to stay in Bombay or are willing to go to a Dombivli and stay there where the quality of life is just the same. The amenities are great. Everything is the same, and we've seen that shift. Right? Like how Powai developed. Now it's a prime pin code. So I feel in 10, 20 years, all the other pin codes in MMR, counting your Thane, your Panvel, your Raigad district, all will become almost at par with the central CBDs.
And even
That's what I feel.
decentralization will reduce the, make it more
Congestion,
affordable.
traffic jam.
Bangalore has done exceptionally well actually in decentralization.
Okay.
Much better than Hyderabad, where the growth is dispersed in almost all sides of the city.
Yeah.
Hyderabad, it's predominantly the southwestern suburb, right? So decentralization also one. Decentralization से क्या होता है? You'll have multiple urban centers developing, right? So people.
Yes, Bangalore is quite decent. North,
yeah.
east.
East has its own city, the
north has its own
south,
thing,
yeah.
west.
But
has
how does it still have a major traffic issue in spite of being decentralized?
Because most of the IT companies are concentrated in some parts of the city, right? So if you look at the old Bangalore, that is the south and the west side, there's not much traffic or congestion. But if you look at the extended Bangalore towards the north and the east side, there's more of it because there's Whitefield, there's this, Sarjapu, where more companies are there. So hence more traffic in that locality.
Right.
But the other side is not that much. Like for us, South Bangalore is the old Bangalore where it's more modern. It's not like Mumbai or Delhi where you say like South Delhi, South Mumbai. Here it's the opposite of that. South Bangalore is the modest place where the localites are there. You see more prime localities in the prime parts of the other parts of Bangalore. Yeah.
Got it.
So you were talking about the rent also, right? Like
Yeah.
even 1 BHK, it doesn't have 1 BHK, 2
Yeah, Bangalore.
BHK, 2 BHK, it'll start from like
20K.
20K to 35K.
Yeah.
And 3 BHK, 40 to
50
70
range,
max.
yeah.
70 is like the most prime.
I want to move the conversation more towards Bangalore and Hyderabad now. From an investor perspective, for example, I want to buy a property for 2 crores. It's in my interest to buy it either in Hyderabad or in Bangalore. Correct? Because in terms of affordability, if I want a 3 BHK, I can't afford in Bombay. Delhi, I might get a few properties here and there, but Hyderabad and Bangalore get in peak good areas for 2 crores, both in Bangalore and Hyderabad. So I would ideally go for Bangalore, Hyderabad, depending upon I'm an investor. If I'm living, then of course it's a separate conversation. But what's the return? If you can talk about the return in Hyderabad, Bangalore, return on investment in terms of rental income and all that.
See, rental, you would get around 3.5% housing may.
So same across.
Yeah,
Bombay is considerably less, but Bangalore also same.
3 to 4.
Bombay is 2.5% if I'm not wrong.
2.5 to the good buildings also give 3.5, but let's take a 2.5.
But costs वहाँ पे initial investment is higher than. Got it. Now can you take us through a step by step? How do I buy a property? What are the steps? What are the checklists that I should make sure to have when I'm looking for a 3 BHK in a Hyderabad, in a Bangalore? As a customer, step by step.
See, pan India, I think first thing is very simple. The entire discovery these days, right? Property discovery has moved online. So you have a lot of information available online. So discovery is online. Purchase is still offline.
Now, I want to buy. I have 2 crores. Where do I go?
Okay, first you go to the Google search and type like 2 BHK, 3 BHK apartment in this locality. It gives you searches, and then you have portals where you can go and check like comparative prices, and then you zero in on 3 or 4 developers in the neighborhood, and then you go and do it. One key statutory thing would be it needs to have RERA approval, and RERA number would be clearly displayed, so there's no way you can miss it.
Okay.
In case you're missing it, it means it's not there, so don't buy it. Right, once you have the RERA number, then you simply go and like depending on particular unit what you are looking at, is it a 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom? Once you have signed up, then you need to have a reasonable understanding of the loan making process, like how many years ke liye, because it's a financial commitment, right? It's a minimum 20-year financial commitment. So what are the loan cut terms, what interest rate, and fundamentally how is it structured? The interest rate I don't think really varies from person to person, it's pretty much the same. But mainly the loan car structuring, like do you have interest holiday or EMI holiday, all of these sort of things you need to check, and then you can simply go ahead and make a purchase. So it's pretty much straightforward that way.
Yeah, so I want to understand who is investing in Hyderabad and Bangalore markets right now, the 2-3 crore wala segment which you mentioned, the apartment segment. Are you seeing people who are getting jobs in Hyderabad investing, or people across India investing in Hyderabad and Bangalore and taking it from a flipping wala angle ho gaya, yeah, from a staying angle? What's the
See,
consumer
for
behavior?
Hyderabad, the first thing is people are working in the city, right? And then a lot of Telugu NRIs.
NRIs.
Right.
Even
Yeah,
in
because
Bangalore, it's the
same thing, right?
NRIs.
Because for all the Telugu people who are working outside India who have planned to come back, like probably in the 30 to 35s, Hyderabad is the only place which offers that type of jobs. So that's one group, and then we are seeing some amount of investment from various other parts of the country. Of course, Bangalore does much better than Hyderabad in that, but yeah, slowly it's moving.
In the 2 to 3
in the 2 to
crore
3
segment.
crore wala segment, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What's happening in Bangalore, if you have any idea?
One is the people who are settling in Bangalore, right? So since ages there is a lot of migration happening in Bangalore, and a lot of families who are planning to settle in Bangalore. Okay, so these guys, they are not actually the localites, but from outside due to jobs they have come, they're settling. So that is one population that's buying houses, the job segment. And the second one is NRIs, right? Lot of NRIs, and that is what is pushing the Bangalore real estate market also up slowly. It's the NRI investment that's happening. And yeah, outside I feel as Hyderabad, even here from the outside markets also there must be something, but majorly it's with the job segment and the NRIs.
How many, what is the class, like what is the division when it comes to NRIs, when it comes to local people from Hyderabad and Bangalore, and how many from rest of India? Do you guys have that kind of
Yeah.
NRIs, huh?
Yes.
NRIs you mean?
No, not just NRIs.
Localites versus yes,
Non-localites,
Bangalore has.
People who are locally
Non-Telugus.
in Hyderabad who stayed over there, they have never gone out, they work over there, 30-40 years they've stayed
It's
there.
a shocking fact.
Then there is NRIs who are based from Hyderabad or Bangalore,
Yeah.
and a third is a category of investor,
Non-Telugu
who, like say
buyers.
if Ayush wants to invest his income and he wants to hone down on a city which is, so he's an Indian,
Correct.
and within India he wants to choose which city to go. So between Hyderabad and Bangalore, what is that division? 1, 2, 3.
Hyderabad mein it's 20%, 20-22% hoga.
20-20%, 20-25%.
The third category.
Third category, like non-Telugu
The outside
investors
flow.
is 20%.
From
yeah.
outside,
From
yes.
outside, I would
Yeah.
say.
Outside of
other parts of the
Hyderabad,
country.
inside India.
Inside India, right? People are living in the country apart from Hyderabad and apart from any Telugu city, right? AP Telangana ko you put aside, people who are staying in anywhere apart from AP Telangana and investing in Hyderabad is around 20%. But
That's sizable, no?
that's sizable. But these people, they are probably going to get employment there. There is that thing also. They're working in the city and doing that. If it's purely, let's say you're working in Delhi and investing in Hyderabad, right? That category
very
will be in
less.
single digits.
So
Probably
say if
5%,
your
3%.
company is doing an
100 apartments, right?
100 apartments, 20 apartments are bought by people who are
Non-Telugu speaking
and part of India.
and part of India, yes.
How many are NRIs?
NRIs for us, because we are on the tech corridor, almost 40%, 40-45%.
So 60.
Yes.
20 plus 40, 60.
The rest 40 would be people who are local
That's
Telugus.
a good amount of people investing in a certain micro market.
Yeah.
That means your NRI buyers are same as the local
Yeah.
core market buyers. That's
In
huge.
certain micro
That's a
markets.
huge number.
That
of
will be a
NRIs.
little different in Bangalore, I feel. So because Bangalore population only, if you see, I feel 60% is already migrated.
Yeah. Bangalore has
So now you can't
non-locals.
differentiate them into which pool of bucket they are into, where the money is coming from, because they're migrated people. Some are settled here, some are not. The rest 40% are the local people. There you won't have much. I feel majority of inflow is coming from the migrated part, because that is where most of the development is happening than the local part. Yeah.
So you have like non-Kannadiga buyers like
A lot.
30, 40,
Majority,
50%,
yeah,
right? So in
40,
fact, lot of
50%
Telugu people buy in Bangalore.
Yeah,
We are one of the biggest buying group there.
Yes,
Lot
yes,
of
because
creators are
tech,
buying places in Bangalore right
Huh?
now. Creators are buying
Yeah.
like
Oh, is
houses,
it?
Exactly,
2
yeah.
BHKs, 3 BHKs in
right.
Bangalore.
And you know, when I came to Mumbai, right? I mean, I was in Finet's office once, and people asked me like, you know, how much rent you pay? I was like, we own a house. They had a shock in the face. You can own a building, you can own a house in Bangalore. I'm like, because in Mumbai, owning, you know,
It's a
land
dream.
and
Yeah.
and a property is a shocking feeling. But the localites own that way, right? In Bangalore, so they have like enough land spaces to build houses, and the rest I feel would go towards the developed site and the prime locations.
Okay, so question for Ajitesh. What it looks like from this conversation is that Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, everybody talks about, right? Like, and it's also subconsciously we're aware that Bangalore is cheaper, Delhi is cheap, like Bangalore
They're
is
more
cheapest when it comes
expensive.
to
Hyderabad is cheapest
Correct.
than Bangalore.
And in Hyderabad, we don't talk a lot.
We don't
about
talk.
it
That's the
in
problem.
conversations.
Our share of the national course is
Why
very
is
low.
there a awareness issue when it comes to Hyderabad as a city in terms of investment? Because when you add the fourth city, which is Hyderabad, to the Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore sort of competition or whatever, Hyderabad seems to be
Yes,
doing the best
left
because
out.
it's cheapest.
Correct.
The lower barrier to entry is lower from a cost perspective, and you can flip properties much similar to the Bangalore. Is it because there's not enough migration happening to Hyderabad? But there are Amazon and
There's a
Uber
lot of
so what's
migration.
happening?
The problem is, compared to MMR, NCR and Bangalore, Hyderabad has less number of organized developers, right? When there are, I'll tell you how the supply chain, the entire structure moves. When you have organized developers, right, then you have large scale channel partners kind involvement, like industry is more mature, then large scale channel partners involved. Now in the channel partners in the pursuit of their sales business conduct, create more content, hence more awareness. Hyderabad mein this pura ecosystem of channel partner and developer, it's not yet that mature. Now slowly it's opening up, probably the next 2 years it will change. That's why the content around Hyderabad as a city is at least, I would say, 10x less than that of a Bangalore. 10x less than that of what happens in like Gurgaon or MMR, like Mumbai area. There's no content available only. There are not enough people talking about it. So when an industry becomes mature, the supply chain may everybody has their own everybody has an incentive in the supply chain, right? Which in the case of Hyderabad, we are going through that period now. And now you see a lot of pan-India level channel partners and sales partners moving to Hyderabad and selling inventory there. Now you'll see this go up.
And what are the most promising areas in Hyderabad?
Financial district is the first. Then you have Kondapur, right? Then you have Tellapur and Budwell, and then South Hyderabad.
Can you just take us through, like, because I don't think
In
most
the
of
map
those-
case, I've seen.
like,
So
what happens in, like-
Southwest is the most prominent, right? Then upcoming is South and some parts of North. East is the I would say the slowest part of real estate.
Okay.
So that's how it is. But East is now picking up. Organized real estate has not moved to east of Hyderabad. Now it's picking up because metro work has been finished there. More F&B places are coming. Flyovers are coming. So next 2-3 years, East will start running. East is the most affordable place of Hyderabad, where you will get like 75 lakh rupees, you'll get a good size 3 BHK apartment with a carpet of 1200
Nice.
So that's the most affordable section of Hyderabad.
Time to move.
I like that. No. Time to find an office there.
But yeah,
So yeah, that's how the city is established. But yeah, I do feel the city is not well present. I mean, we need to still present the city on a national
I
scale.
agree.
We have to
Yeah.
compete for the voice share.
yeah.
I do feel that.
Yeah, like literally from a genuine sense of investment, if I had to buy a house and I was considering a Bangalore or 2 BHK. for
It's
like a
not on
flipping
the top of the
perspective,
mind recall.
Hyderabad doesn't come. Like the only time Hyderabad comes to my mind is when creators from like Google, there are a lot of people who work in Google and Amazon who are creating content, and they also talk a lot about it in Twitter. So only a bits and pieces I'll see Hyderabad is this, Hyderabad is broad roads, and there's a little bit of
I would
banter
really
going on.
recommend all content creators. You can set up your office in Hyderabad. In and around our office, we'll search you. We'll get good office space for you.
I
Maybe
was
in the building
thinking
where
about
we are.
it
Oh, you
before
should.
moving to Mumbai. I
Is
was
it?
like, why move to Mumbai? I can hire four people in that amount.
Yeah, and you're going to have very reasonable office spaces. I would really recommend all of you. In fact, I was requesting Ravi and Mayank that you guys come over and let's do, why don't you do a shoot on the city? Like there are certain places of Hyderabad which will look like absolutely like Singapore. Right?
Really?
Absolutely like Singapore.
Which area?
Raidurg is there, financial district is there. In another 2 years, even Neopolis will be there. Then another 3-4 years, fourth city, the AI city is also coming up. So all these things, at least two out of these 4 places already built. You can, you come
More
now.
tech
you feel
companies
like
are
that.
also coming in. I think Amazon.
Oh yeah. See, Amazon
more
ka
offices
world's
are
biggest
opening.
headquarter after the one in Seattle,
Yes.
Hyderabad. Google ka world's biggest,
Really?
Amazon. Google ka world's biggest headquarter after Mountain View, Hyderabad. Microsoft ka world's biggest headquarter after Seattle, Hyderabad. So these
Tech
are most of the FANG companies.
So you feel Hyderabad is eating up Pune's and Bangalore's tech share?
Pune's, Pune I think is totally in a
The old
different,
tech money I think is going to Hyderabad. The fintechs and the new age techs, they're still in Bangalore. because of the VC
Bangalore
market.
has a much better startup ecosystem.
Startup ecosystem, yes.
The capital, the pura, capital, venture capital ecosystem and all of that, and advanced tech skills. Bangalore has
Correct.
better advanced tech skills
Correct.
compared to Hyderabad. But we are picking up, like T-Hub is a major initiative by the government, biggest such program in the entire country, a massive, I think if I'm not wrong, close to 6 lakh square feet built, incubator only for startups.
How far off are all these places from the modes of transportation, like from the airport?
They are right in the city center, probably 200 or 500 meters from a metro.
And airport?
Airport is 20-25 minutes on a ORR, which is 8-lane road. From T-Hub, like the city center, like iTech city. Now even they're laying a metro also. Metro I think is going in different direction, but yeah, there is road work.
So as a developer, what your strategy should be to focus on the areas? Would be to focus on just these kind of areas, or would you want to also go in the other section which is on the outer side?
See, our strategy, because we are in high capex business, we buy land and we stick to these areas. The problem, at least for us, going into more suburban areas, it becomes little speculative. The market becomes more cyclical, right? In good times, it will give you great returns. In bad times, it will do much bad. So I see a more risk to our capital that way. So we stay close to more stable areas where the risk upside is also sort of cut short, but the downside is protected. So we operate purely in the city centers.
Also, your construction cost will remain the same.
Yeah, construction cost doesn't
So might
change.
as well you get the premium in the better areas.
In the better area,
by
right, yeah.
developing the
Banate raho.
free FSI. Unlimited FSI.
Only if you are abutting a 6-lane road.
Yeah.
Beyond these 4 cities, where else do you see most traction in India?
Coimbatore.
I heard things about Coimbatore is also sort of taking away a good amount of the tech scene from the next set of, especially SaaS industry ka jo ho raha hai, to Coimbatore is also a sort of a upcoming thing.
Coimbatore? Ravi? Beyond the
Zero
4?
idea.
No idea.
No idea about Coimbatore.
Only
Ravi
4
is
on the
now
ground.
going to open an office in Hyderabad soon.
Hyderabad, I like.
Yeah.
He was speaking
very
about
sad.
a property about one of his friends who has 16,000 square feet of one floor plate. I was like, excuse me, what?
16,000
It's
square feet?
India's biggest apartment.
India's.
I was telling him you should come and
Cost?
present that. 10,000, 16 crores mein mil jayega. 15, 16 crores.
My
The last
God.
property I saw, 16,000 square feet, was a triplex for 120 crores in Mumbai.
Yeah, you'll
16
get like
crore,
10%
that's
of the
10x
cost.
almost.
10% of the cost mein mil jayega aapko.
Crazy.
And very, very good spec, Italian marble and all of that.
इधर तो बिल्डिंग मेंटेनेंस में मर जाएंगे हम लोग 16,000 स्क्वायर फुट
See, this is very nice.
Yeah.
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 Massive.
Like, yeah. So we
But
have
how-
got like in terms of again luxury also, we have done much better than any other place. And in terms of building,
What's the amount of
specification,
luxury in Hyderabad? How do you define it?
luxury, or I would say large format apartment
crores?
size, वही 10 crore पकड़ के चले.
10
अच्छा, anything above 5 crores is
5 crores.
Yeah, is
Yeah.
large
Same
format.
in
we
Bombay?
actually so
Main
Hyderabad
But
has
how
done
much square
very
feet
well
is your 10 crore, 5 crore property?
5 crore में आपको मिल जाएगा
3,500
5,000 square feet.
5,000.
Carpet होगा 3,200 तक carpet आ जाएगा.
And what is the tallest building in Hyderabad?
Currently, I think there's one tower which is just finished, 58 floors, 240 meters. It's South India's tallest building, by the way.
So basically,
We've got skyscrapers.
if you want to compare, right after Mumbai, Hyderabad is the only place
Yes.
where you have skyscrapers.
Yes. In fact, in the last 3 years, Hyderabad's share in skyscrapers has gone from some 1 or 2% to 8%. And probably next 10 years, we should be having around 15 to 18% of the skyscrapers in the country. After Mumbai, second highest would be.
If I'm on the say 40th floor of a building, and I'm looking around on this panoramic view, considering there's one apartment, what am I looking at?
See, at least in the new pockets which are coming, where these buildings are coming up, there are two very big water reservoirs, water lakes, massive size lakes. You are going to look at that. In other places, you're going to look at the ORR, which is like a big 8-lane highway, this is what would primarily, and next you will go look at other tall buildings with good facades.
Okay.
Yes, Ravi, there's no sea view, but there's more
So
money.
it's open.
Yeah.
Open, nice views, good balconies, you can sit outside.
Much more airy, like things are far apart.
Okay.
So there is a knowledge arbitrage in a way. Like for example, someone like me who didn't know that there's so much potential in
Yeah,
it's a knowledge
awareness arbitrage is there.
So if you can just club that, you can get properties at a lower cost and also make money from it.
Yeah, and a lot more real estate investors pan India can make good money by investing in Hyderabad.
And if we if we get into a debate between Hyderabad and other smaller cities, then the risk is the only difference. Like Hyderabad will give you, the risk is lesser because it's more established as compared to the smaller cities.
Another advantage also, compared to maybe Bangalore, also same place, but compared to Chennai, language barrier. Hyderabad has no language and cultural barrier is not there. Chennai
is a local
Chennai
language.
is
local
very
language, like many people do not know
huge
Hindi,
challenge.
and there's a the culture still understanding gap is there, language gap is there, but Hyderabad Hindi is most fluently spoken, so
Yeah.
कुछ भी problem नहीं.
Aure, that's what I have a very old friend of mine. I used to speak to him. I haven't spoken to him a lot. I was like, "Kya re? Aure." What happened to you, my friend? That's nice.
Chennai.
I think it's cute.
Nahi,
Yeah, that's like a dialect, I guess.
Yeah.
Hyderabad has Urdu speaking and Hindi speaking.
Urdu speaking and Hindi speaking is well established. So
Nice.
Where do you get your biryani from? If I come over there, where are you going to give me my biryani?
I think some of the best ones is a place called Golconda Resort. That's got really good biryani.
Okay.
I'm sure it's better than Meghna biryani.
100%.
You've not been to Hyderabad?
Like maybe in childhood.
This is my personal opinion. We Telugu people are not very good with communications. That's why we don't put ourselves up. I typically say that, like even in my teams also, I see most of our sales and marketing teams are from North India. They are very good with communications. Telugu people are good with code.
They fly. Telugu people fly outside. Right?
Yeah,
They
outside,
fly-
they really go outside the country.
You go to US, you see more
Satya
Telugu
Nadella
people.
is Telugu only. Like
you
of
see
course, Sundar
majority
Pichai
of
is from Tamil Nadu.
Telugu people who have migrated from the
There's
state.
senior
to
level
US.
positions in all major IT companies.
Sit silent and work. That's
They're the code guys.
The work speak for it.
Work speaks. They're all like hardcore techies. In fact, for almost a good 20-25 years, the culture, even now also the culture is, if there's a boy in the family, engineer banega, if there's a girl in the family, doctor. Now the girl also has moved to engineering because that's paying a lot more. Computer science engineering pays a lot more. So the gross number of engineers which the economy is generating is number one, highest again. So these fundamentals are there very strong.
You're also touching upon luxury segment. 5 crores you mentioned. If you just go into the details of that. 5 crores mein what are we getting? How many square feet?
See,
5,000
5 crores mein you get 5,000 square feet saleable. Carpet hoga around 3,200 square feet. 4 BHK you'll have. And you'll
What's the
have...
kind of building? It's like an amenity kind of building? Like
It'll have all the set of amenities like, a tennis court, swimming pool and, home office. Whatnot, gym, everything, like all the state of the art
हम
things.
लोग को समुंदर दिखता है दूर से, वो भी अगर दिन अच्छा होगा,
yeah.
नहीं तो फिर धुंधला.
Except the
Or
sea
arts
view,
or carpet.
you'll get everything. And Italian marble you'll get in that. I don't know how much of a big deal Italian marble.
Italian marble is standard.
Standard,
But the
The amenity thing is a big thing, I think.
Space is
Space,
something
right?
which is
Fundamentally, it's space.
Yeah.
And larger floor to ceiling also. Bombay, I heard it's 9 feet. In this segment, larger apartment format wala segment, you'll get 12 feet.
12 feet is
12
a luxury,
feet.
yeah.
12 feet.
I mean, I was in Bangalore, I was paying 50,000 rent for a 3 BHK,
BHK.
with everything in the world I would need. Then I moved to this building where Ravi had come, 1.2 lakh rent for 3 BHK with just a gym. Nothing else. Great building, no doubt. Just
Be happy you had at
You
least
have
a
a
gym.
gym, yeah. That's a luxury. That's a very big
Even balconies.
I had balcony.
Oh, you have a balcony?
I had a balcony in that
That's-
building. 50,000 to 1.2 lakhs. And then I moved because Mr. Ravi said you should move from Vastu. Moved to Andheri West.
I hope your rent came down.
Now rent is 1.7 for 3 BHK. Smaller house compared to the older one, and the amenities are there. Like I have a swimming pool, very small swimming pool, like this.
Plunge.
Plunge.
Yeah,
pool, like jacuzzi size.
Half size of this is a swimming pool for 500 houses.
Oh, it's okay.
Like-
It's
Where
like
are you staying right now?
Adani Nights.
Acha. Okay.
Yeah, like the 6th floor, 2 lift लेनी पड़ती है.
But the amenities you have is amazing. You have amenities on the podium level, you have amenities on the rooftop, and you have all the amenities that you can possibly think
The
of.
rent is also amazing. No?
That's the point to go. No,
With 1.7 lakhs, if I'm giving EMI, I'll get a 5 crore luxury apartment.
Yeah,
Yeah, you'll get that.
easily.
Yeah.
So
how? You'll have to put 4 crores down.
I won't shift to Hyderabad because like a lot of people like me in the content economy or like, people who are in the financial markets because their jobs are here, they can't move of course to Hyderabad. But from an investment angle, for sure, Hyderabad is a market that we can look at.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were only looking at a Bangalore for example. From a Bombay, we are like Bangalore देख लेते हैं. एक Hyderabad भी है. एक knowledge is the only thing which I personally am talking about कि कभी दिमाग में नहीं आया. So if that's removed, then there's a competition for sure in terms of value and in terms of arbitrage and all that.
True.
Yeah.
Awareness has to be built.
100%. So Chandalekha, question for you from a personal finance creator angle slash you speak to a lot of your followers. If you had 1 crore today or if your followers had 1 crore today, where would you invest it? Not from a living perspective, but from an investment perspective, long term.
I just want to tweak that question a little bit. Well, yeah, where would real estate stand in that
I
list
feel
of
with 1 crore that would be mostly the third category.
third category?
Yeah,
okay.
the full
Third category?
Third category in the
list of investable
in the list
assets,
of
no?
investments. The first would definitely be the equity markets, or get
Like
a
SIP or
get
mutual
a
funds?
wealth management or do a PMS or something like that, or directly do mutual funds and get into the equity markets. Because 1 crore is not a huge capital if you see, right? Even if you have to buy a property, it's not like 1 crore for this person could be significant part of the wealth, right? So they wouldn't want to lock it in a real estate investment. So the first one would still be your, equity markets, or they'll get a wealth management, do some PMS. And the second, they would definitely take it to the debt as well. It won't be that entire 1 crore in the markets. They would get into FDs or bonds or something like that. And the rest of it might be diverted towards real estate. I feel with ESOPs, it's very different. Now, if somebody has ESOPs, right, majorly because even in Gurgaon, right, the majority of real estate, all these, the Camellias, the Aurelias, all these got sold to ESOP guys, right? When Swiggy, did an IPO, the lot of apartment sales. Because when it comes to ESOPs, the appreciation on your ESOP is completely tax exempted if you invest that in real estate.
Up to 10
right?
crores,
Yeah, up to 10 crores for only once in lifetime.
Achha, once in life,
Yes.
you can't roll over, like after 3 years again you roll over into another property.
No, this is a one-time opportunity for the first investment.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how the boom also happens. So when you talk about ESOPs, it's a different thing. They would of course consider first as real estate, where this 1 crore is coming from. If it's the savings that a person has done, then I feel it will be the third option. I don't think it's first.
I have a doubt on this. So you're saying the first option is equity markets because your 1 crore is less amount for real estate, or is it because the convenience of entry and exit is more in equity markets?
Risk and liquidity.
So liquidity matlab okay, entry exit ka
Yes,
convenience.
entry and exit.
Because
Because
you feel risk is less in equity markets compared to real estate? Why would you say so?
I feel that also comes with the logic of liquidity as well. The risk also comes there. I feel it's some part.
When you need money, real estate it'll take some time to
liquidate.
monetize. Whereas in markets it's
correct.
easy.
And most of the time in India, if you see also, people want real estate to build house. It's self-occupancy. It's not for investment. People who have surplus above this 1 crore or more in savings are the ones who go for real estate. Normally that first 1 crore they make would be for self-occupancy itself. So you wouldn't look at it as an investment perspective, you would look at it as like an asset acquisition perspective. So in that way, if you see,
Because see, one thing where real estate has an advantage in this, in equity, let's say I have 1 crore, I put in equity, I can put that 1 crore unless I'm doing futures and derivatives, which is complex trades.
Right.
Real estate, I can lever. Let's say 1 crore mere paas hai, with 20 lakhs or maybe with 30 lakhs, I can purchase a 2 crore wala home. So the concept of leverage is what really is very, very big in real estate. In markets also you can do it, provided you get into the futures and which are more complex trades.
you're saying basically debt, right?
Debt,
you take
right?
a loan.
You take a home loan and do it. It's the lowest cost of debt,
Yeah.
8.6%.
In India, the lowest
Lowest
cost
in
of
India.
borrowing, yeah.
Lowest in
Right.
India, 8.6%. But yeah, many people don't really understand,
Maybe you can give an
That's a lot of
explanation
expectation
on
from
how you, how you would look at it as a lever.
See, basically, if you're buying a 2 crore ka flat, na,
Yeah.
I need to do a down payment of 15%.
30 lakhs.
Right? Which is 30 lakhs. Rest 85% I'm going to get home loan, for which currently I'll be charged the interest of 8.5%. Now the interesting thing is this 85% is not given upfront to the developer. इसमें 10% का एक slab में will get dispersed to the developer over a span of 3-4 years as and when he or she builds the project.
Correct.
So your interest का जो component है, it won't be high in the beginning. After the property is handed over, that is when the interest component gets fully loaded. Until then, first year में क्या कुछ 25% of additional money got dispersed. So 25% मतलब कितना, like 2 crore में 25% is 50 lakhs. 50 lakhs के ऊपर only you will be paying interest, which is what 35,000, right? 700 rupees per lakh. So ऐसा होगा. So that way, and let's say the property appreciates and you're flipping it, then you can make a good return.
Now that appreciation is a thing that most people find it bizarre. See, now what you are saying on an interest level, okay, we can say it becomes zero cost because you're investing, you're assuming that there is surplus amount this person has as well who's investing, and you're taking it as an opportunity cost, right? Lever is, you're basically
yeah, but they will be
assuming
getting that
right?
leverage based on their income earning only, right? If somebody has a 1 crore ka, what do you say, income, right?
Yeah.
1 crore ka investable amount, disposable
yeah.
investable amount, he or she will be having a household income of 5 lakhs, both wife and husband working. So on that 5 lakhs what they're making as together as wife and husband, maybe one of them are like 2.5 lakhs they're earning a month, you will get home loan to your home loan purchase can go up to anywhere up to 2.5 to 3 crores worth of home loan you will get. So you'll be able to leverage it. So essentially that baki ka 70 lakhs whatever is remaining, that you can invest elsewhere. So most often what gets missed out when it comes to real estate investment is the ticket size to invest in a 2 crore flat is only 30 lakhs. You can buy a 2 crore worth of product in real estate for 30 lakhs. This is generally not understood by.
That's how majority of the investors work. What
Yeah,
the investors do
yeah.
in the calculation, if you are an investor, you walk into a pre-launch property, they will say, I put 30 lakhs at the time of booking. I paid 35,000 rupees, whatever is the balance amount on the interest. By the time he is getting possession of the property, he is say 50 lakh rupees down, 55 lakh rupees down in the money of his own pocket. And when he's trying to sell the property, this 2 crore property, say hypothetically speaking, say after 3 years, 5 years, is gone and become 4 crores. What he is thinking is, I have put 50 lakhs and I am getting 2 crores. That is how they calculate
leverage.
the amount.
That's how you actually make money by flipping homes.
Correct.
That's what my dad used to do. बोला मैंने इतना पैसा डाला इसके बदले मेरे को इतना पैसा आया, मैंने 50 लाख डाला मेरे को 2 करोड़ मिला, 5 साल में मैंने 3x किया. करो अभी अब कैलकुलेशन.
One problem what happens with people is the guys who are actually investing 30 lakhs, right, for a 1 crore property, that might be a significant part of the earnings, because if you look at it on an investment point of view, okay, it makes sense provided you have enough net worth to keep doing flipping. But these guys who actually are owning a house cannot afford that illiquidity, is what I'm saying, right?
Okay. Adil, in the case of that is a problem.
That is why it is disposable income. No, it's the income that you have to consider whether that is going to, where can you put that money otherwise. Now another aspect is if the person who's putting this money does not own a property of their own, if they are paying rent, then that additional burden is going to break them.
Correct.
So that's where where to invest the thing comes up. So you have to dig a little deeper, and as an advisor, I think finance part, that is where
it's subjected to what they are in.
But in addition to this, people also
But illiquidity is a problem in real estate.
It is never been. If anyone is telling you that this is a liquid asset, he's lying to you straight on your face. Your money is going to be stuck for years.
Yeah.
If you have any financial emergency and you want an exit, it's going to take minimum of 6 months.
Yeah.
Whereas equity is a click of a button and the money is in your account the next day.
24, 36 hours,
As
48
finance
hours.
people, they're so used to liquidity, so that will be a major concern.
correct.
Yeah.
And the churn will be higher when it's more liquid. Yeah.
No, but I want to also understand, in addition to this, the mindset is not this, no? Like, they don't think like they can use a leverage and buy properties.
वो
They
That's
just
not
use
the
it.
mindset.
Many people don't understand that.
That's the
about
thing.
The
real estate.
leverage mindset is not there.
Yeah.
It's just you want to buy that one house. Like,
In fact, real estate is the safest futures option. It's the safest one. In futures,
People
when
who
you
go
trade,
for the second house will have this mindset, not for the first
that
one.
is the mature investor.
Yeah.
correct.
Second one are people who want to actually invest and use the lever and make money.
but still they don't put as much brainly because they can make a business out of it properly. Like second and then third, and you keep flipping.
In fact,
And
a lot of people do that. lot of people, at least the seasonal real estate investor, maybe you can also tell a lot of people who approach you in that manner, they know this, right, inside out, like the seasonal guys.
They are aware of it.
They multiple homes they churn around.
There is an investor of mine, what he does is he buys a commercial asset. What he does is he checks the rental and he checks the EMIs. Whatever is the rental amount is equal to his EMI. He has a property right there, the rental is taking care of the EMIs, and he is like, I got nothing to pay.
Yeah.
I just have to put that much amount of money, and then after 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, he sells off that property.
Yeah.
So he's absolutely set in this. He has his own business running. He's chilled out over there, and he has this asset building. He buys properties worth around 15-20 crores every year.
Now you give me an example. If I have 2 crores, how can I make money like this?
Make money like this?
Yeah. Where would you put that?
I think the
rather I would ask a question. Okay, you have 2 crores of money to invest. What is your salary? Because you have to use leverage. Without leverage, real estate.
Okay, let's say
real estate is not a good asset to invest. कितना है आपका household salary is 60 lakhs?
70 lakhs, 60-70 lakhs. Yeah.
70 lakhs, right? 70 lakhs pay 2 crores se you buy 4 apartments and then churn that.
4 apartments.
Yeah, you 70 lakhs pay, you will get what your 70 lakhs mein you will get what 30 50.
Let's take Hyderabad as example. We have
the best way. There are developers who prefer to give a long-term payment plan, right?
Yeah, the payment holidays also exist.
So if Ajitesh comes up with a project in Hyderabad, all right, it's a nice location and everything good, and he's seeing that I see a potential in this, and he's cash rich, he's got the money ready. When I say cash rich, I'm not talking about bags of money. I'm talking that he has money in the bank account, and he is debt free, all right. He says that, you know what, I want to sell this project off. I have 800 apartments coming up in this complex of 4 acres, and I want to sell this off in the launch period itself. So he gives a very simple and clean payment plan saying 25% now, 25% next year, 25% third year, 25% fourth year. Or he says, give me 20-80 scheme, 20% now, 80% at the time of possession.
Okay.
Alright. So what you do is you take that amount of money, and you know Ajitesh is a safe bet.
Safe guy. Huh?
He's going to deliver the project. It might get delayed maybe 3 months, 6 months for political instability or for approvals or falana dimka, whatever are the reasons.
Right.
So you take the advantage of that 20%. You put that property is worth 1 crore. You put 20 lakh rupees. You wait for it to get done, and then at the time of possession, you go back to him. In fact, at the time of signing itself, you tell him, look, I'm a sole investor. I have no interest in staying over here. I am just putting this money over here. I'm giving you 20 lakh rupees. At the time of selling, you add this to your pool of your properties that you want to sell, which is at ready to move. I want this much amount of money. And whatever is on top, you keep it or you give me the benefit. Yeah. See, if he's going to give you that 80% ka benefit, then he also needs to get some benefit. So you share the benefits with him, or you say, okay, fine, 20 lakh rupees of mine you're using for so many years.
Yeah.
Give me that much amount of benefit. If the property at 1 crore is say getting sold at 1 crore 50 lakhs, you are making 50 lakhs additional.
Correct.
Alright. So you tell him, I'll give you 5 lakhs, I'll take 45 lakhs. 10% you keep, 90% I'll keep.
That's the flipping model, yeah. This sort of schemes you make significant returns.
So with the example that you were using, you're saying that I have 2 crores, 60 lakhs is my...
So your most likely your home loan eligibility will be anywhere around 3 crores, right? So 2 plus 3, you should buy 5 crores worth of homes. So what you do 1.75 ka buy 3 homes, right? Buy 3 homes.
All in leverage.
All lever it up.
And how do you
right,
how
and
do you
then,
take up your payment plan and everything?
Then like say the developer
Just
is
like Ravi said, no?
Let's say there is a payment plan like this, like then you take advantage of it. Sometimes developers do come up with schemes interest holiday. मतलब 2 साल का आपका interest month on month we will pay. That time again it's even more beneficial. Or let's say no scheme is there, month on month as the developer keeps building year on year, on an average let's say 25 to 30% of your home loan will be disbursed year on year. Uska EMI you keep paying upon handover, even if the property appreciates at 6.7%. India mein inflation is 6.5%, so roughly appreciating at the same. After 4 years, it will be your 100 rupee property will be 130. Sell all of those, and then you calculate the return. You will get around
25% of 5 crores, right, is 1 CR. how will that person get 1 CR? Where will he get from?
That's what if he
to
already
say.
You
has
have
it.
2 CR. That's for the first year. Second year, how will you get?
No,
Third
second year,
fourth year.
the
Every
3
year you
crore,
have
see,
to keep paying.
let's
right?
say
25%
he has
for 4
to-
years.
yeah.
So 4 crore.
No. Let's say he has 2 crores, right?
Yeah.
And he has a 60 lakh household income.
Yeah.
60 lakh household income, he will be eligible for a home loan of 3 crores.
Correct.
Right? So what is the total amount of capital which he can disperse?
2
It
plus
is 2
3.
crores plus 3.
Right.
Now this 3 crore will not be dispersed upfront. This 3 crore mein first year mein 1 crore will be dispersed.
Yeah.
The rest 1 crore will be second, third year, and the 2 crore which he has also, like first year mein he has to do like 15%, right? Rest he can do at any point of time in the 4 years. So this 5 crores is something which you will be paying to the developer over the 4 years.
So there are two advantages,
Yeah.
right? What A is you use leverage.
Right.
B is also the leverage not paid at once.
Correct.
It's paid in construction linked slabs.
Right.
So you get the extra breather. You'll only be paying at the max pre EMI,
That's it.
right? You won't be your EMI also won't start.
Won't start until you get the possession.
Correct.
So that 5 crores is what you will be paying, nothing over and above that.
What's the risk here?
Risk is if the project gets delayed.
Yes.
Biggest risk, right? And next risk is if after 3-4 years there's an excess supply of that inventory. The bigger problem is 80% of the cases the project getting delayed. Right now, how do you look for data which will sort of help you in this factor? Simply go to the developer's website, look at all his past projects and look at his present project. Let's say past I'm in development business from 30 years, let's assume. Past I built all standalone buildings which are like 5-7 floors, and now I'm building 40 floors. Considerable risk will go up, most likely I might not finish in time. Not I will not, might not, right? So say you can simply map the wherewithal or the know-how risk, capability risk can come out, which is 80% of the times. The rest 20% supply, right? Matlab after 4 years when you want to sell this, kya supply hone wala hai, ye
If
inventory.
there are too many, then it will not get
Then
sold.
it will take longer time to sell. Na? Supply also very simple. Simply go to the TF RERA website or Maha RERA website. Pin code by pin code, every project which got approved, kitna 2 bedroom, kitna 3 bedroom, all the data is there. Take that DB, dump it in ChatGPT, DeepSeek, ask it to summarize. You'll have a supply equation. Simple. Isse 9 out of 10 times your investment will come out correct. The problem is this sort of organization of data is something which has happened recently in the last 3-4 years. Before that, this data, like before RERA, this data was never available. So what will you do? Nothing, right? I mean, then you are like shooting in the air, right? You're just hoping for it. Next is the developer ka background. Not many people are aware how to diagnose that.
Yeah.
This is how you diagnose that. With this, this is also going to be a data-backed investment. But typically, real estate investments, how people do, okay, my uncle invested or my friend invested, aisa 10 people jaake pura invest kar denge. If the Titanic goes and hits the iceberg, all 10 of us sink.
Yeah.
There's no safety in that, right?
Yeah.
But now data-led practices are totally possible, and I would strongly recommend one to do that.
What do you think of fractional
I like
investing
it.
that is happening?
REITs and all that.
Yeah. Not REITs, but the fractional investing that's where you...
REIT is also sort of a fractionalization.
Yeah, that's
but
thought
yeah.
of it, but it's most listed.
See,
It is
again,
listed, this is unlisted.
Fractional investment is something which is now picking up. Fractional investment ka biggest advantage is the convenience of exit, right? It's more monetized. Like it's more like
And lower barrier to entry, no?
it's like what 10,000 or 20,000 ka
Correct.
packets may multiplied, right?
Correct.
So
Right.
you own like shares only. So
Yeah.
that way it's easy to monetize that, but the returns are less in fractional investments because naturally, ek apartment ko you spread it across 20 people, naturally it cost goes up.
Absolute money is less.
Absolute money is less. Returns are lower. Most people say advertisements say 15-16%, but
Yeah.
in reality, what people are making is 10%.
10%.
You take REIT for example, a well-established
REIT,
structure around
yeah.
fractionalization. Most of the top REITs in the country give you what 6.5%
Yeah.
rental yield, 4% appreciation. Why 10-11%?
This commercial.
Commercial.
I'm talking about residential
Resi
fractional
also same
investment.
thing. Resi also same thing. Resi may it will be even lower because rental in Resi is what in residential sector rental is around 3.5%.
No, but these fractional platforms, right? They're not focusing on rental. They're again doing it pre-launch properties. So before, during
some
the
of
time of
the-
launch, you do the
That-
fractional
that's
investment.
little
Then
bit
See
more
it go
risk.
down though now because SEBI's sent a notification.
Yeah, SEBI is
Okay.
going.
You can't
It's
do
not
that.
legal. in
Yeah,
many
you can't
ways.
do that till you don't till you're not giving dividends immediately. You can't do that as a capital appreciation tool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you need to have skin in the game. I think 15% they have to
Has
put
to
their
be
own
by the-
money.
Yeah,
In
it's
that-
like one apartment owned by 5 people,
Yeah,
5
they will
different
put
loans.
the money
It's all
and they will
And what
disperse.
they try to focus a lot is on daily rentals, where the rental
Yeah.
yield is a little bit more. They try
You'll
to
see
do that.
In the residential space, you'll see fractional happening in holiday homes,
Yeah.
which is Airbnb'd out.
Right.
Again,
You
yield
get
is-
hospitality returns there.
Yeah.
But in a flipping model, one other thing, fractional is not a good investment because you can't use leverage. Imagine you're buying one apartment.
Yeah.
5 people
Yeah.
cannot take one home loan, right?
Correct.
The paper and you can't underwrite it
Complicated,
such a way.
yeah.
So thereby,
That's why
if you can't
Capital
lever,
is also less, 10 lakh minimum.
and if you can't lever, then your returns are nothing.
Usually a company goes and buys the property, either an LLP or a
Correct.
private limited company that goes and buys the property, and then they sell the shares of that company. So
Yeah.
that company is what is that called? Specific SPV.
SPV,
SPV, special
yeah.
purpose vehicle.
Yeah, they make that just for that. So one property is just under one company. So in case there are 10 apartments and there are 10 different companies for each floor. So it
Right.
is a little cumbersome, but
Plus, you'll end up wasting money in compliances there. There are a lot of compliances.
And one more thing
So-
to add to Ravi's thing, when you buy from the company, like we are the company angle, you don't get home loan. You have to get a
Yeah.
mortgage loan, which is around 11%.
Yeah.
So, home loan is 8.5, so 3%
Yeah.
ka variance.
So talking about flipping, why do you say that flipping doesn't work in Bombay?
flipping doesn't work in Bombay.
Yeah.
No, flipping works in Bombay, but it has to.
Because the supply, the demand is insane here. So people will be
But you
willing
have to be very specific in your flipping.
Yeah.
You have to be very specific. There are too many. If you are a established investor, then only go into that. If you are a first time investor, then stick to reputed developers who have a good track record, as Ajitesh had mentioned, in delivering a product. There is just a handful of developers that I would say who are nationally known. And if you are looking at a specific area, a very niche micro market, then again there are just a handful of developers, and then you have to work with them in a very specific manner. You have to go to them. Like these developers are already established, all right? They are working in premium areas. They already have a list of established investors. The moment they say that I've signed an agreement with this land, or I've bought a land, or I've signed a redevelopment agreement with a building, and I'm going to launch, the people are anyways ready. Verbally, people are giving a commitment saying that Chalte, you have 5 apartments that you want to sell. He's making, say, 40,000 square feet in this independent building. He just needs 10% to 20% of a commitment from his regular investors with whom he's worked with. And he doesn't even release the property in the market. Those 20 out of that 10,000 square feet, 2,000 square feet is already committed by him. That the developer has absolutely no incentive to break his price. Why?
Makes sense.
He is. Go ahead.
Yeah, in fact, a lot of established developers have that set of investors with them over a period of time. 20-30% of the inventory is, before it comes into the market, is already sold to these guys.
Now, if that same developer is kind of changing his niche from a single independent building, now he's going on a bigger project where he used to do 1500 square meters, now he's doing 15,000 square meters. Now he needs additional capital. This is the point where you can walk in and you can tell him, this is my money, I am ready. What you've been giving your other investors, I will give you also. You know the person is once again debt free, has money in the bank. You know he has a good track record.
Makes sense.
He knows everything. He knows the licensing process.
Yeah.
He knows he has everything in order. He just needs to go and execute. Boom, boom, boom. So it's not rocket science. It is a mind frame of the investor. If you are an end user who's going to a job every day in, day out, you will never be able to invest in this kind of scenario because you just simply do not have the mind frame of an entrepreneur. If you have the mind frame of an entrepreneur, you can do things that you can do independently without the comfort of a paycheck hitting your bank account every month. That is the major difference between an investor and an end user. You can
Now,
invest
just
anywhere in the world.
To add to his point, flipping definitely works in groups. Let me explain. So, for example, we have a group of investors. 10 investors invest together, but they can break the developer's price. The day the RERA comes, they'll pick up 10 apartments. So they get a special price. They anyways at 10%, 15% lower. Now these are all commonsensical things, like he said, right? And there are plenty of these groups like that. I know, like there's a Gujarati group, there's a Marwadi group that picks up 20 flats in every project in Parel and Lalbagh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every project blindly.
Crazy.
So day one they just go and pick
Straight
up
up.
10 into 10.
You get
100 crore.
20% cheaper rate. So you start off only with a
Win-win
lower
for both of
acquisition.
them, right?
And they also have a thing where they'll ask the developer, they'll request for no transfer fees.
Yeah, in these cases, yeah.
So
The
that's
first transfer free.
Yeah, first
Yeah,
transfer
as a
free.
They can,
Why
They
is
also
that?
give you a
Strength.
lock-in though.
Yeah.
You have
So
to
exactly, to negotiate that. But you see, 20 people coming in
Makes
with
sense.
a developer
Yeah.
in the starting.
Yeah.
On the first day of RERA, when in big projects, I've seen a group do that with a very, I'm not going to name the builder, extremely large developer. The group accumulated 150 crores. Again, large developers will not say no to that money. And they got a prime project in Juhu for 30% lower back in the day. So they've seen a very good CAGR.
Yeah, Kaggle, yeah.
Strength is in numbers.
Another place where you can invest, there is a property that I am working on where the building is gone in redevelopment. It's in Lokhandwala, Andheri West, in your backyard. If you want to invest your 2.5 crores, you let me know. Right?
I'm more interested in Hyderabad right now.
You go to Hyderabad, no problem, sir. But I'll come to redevelopment in Hyderabad. I don't think you have enough land, you don't need to do that.
I don't think the 1% also.
But this person has a property which is a 2-bedroom apartment on the second floor or the first floor of a building which is just 3 floors. The redevelopment agreement has been signed by a very well reputed developer. It's a big land parcel and they know exactly what they're going to get. This is a 770 square feet 2-bedroom carpet area, a 2-bedroom apartment on the first floor without an elevator, 1 car parking. And what they're getting instead of this is roughly about an 1029 square feet 3-bedroom apartment on the 26th floor facing Lokhandwala complex. But this is going to come after 5 years. This is confirmed. The flat has been confirmed that this is what they are going to get. Now, when the building is going to be done, you could estimate at around, current rate is 45,000 rupees per square feet plus stamp duty and registration. So that's 4.5 crores to 4.75 crores. The person is selling it at 3.5 crores negotiable at this point of time. They are going to give you the rent for the next 3 years. They are going to give you the corpus which the developer is going to give. This is all included in that 3.5 crores. So the 3.5 crores is going to go to the seller. You are going to buy that 2-bedroom apartment, and then what you're going to get is an apartment which is at a later date going to be at a bare minimum of 4.75 crores plus the 20-25 lakh rupees of rental, the corpus of maybe 15-20 lakhs and whatever additional perks that you're going to get. Would you invest in something like this?
Hyderabad. But I get
There
the
is
point.
someone out there, please. Sir, मेरा number नीचे डाल देना.
But why is it not happening enough? Like this seems like of
They're
course
far
there
and
risks
beyond.
are.
Awareness is very less on this. It's only for seasoned investors, and frankly, now I think the content also in this has been.
But the reason why they are selling, see, if I was there in that place, I would not sell it. Why would that person want to sell it? This is a very important question. That
No, even the flipping wala part. Like why is the flipping thing not happening enough? Using the leverage to make it's a great wealth generation tool. So
it's the inclination, no? It's the mind frame.
Mind frame
Everything
awareness.
is the mind frame.
Right, there's less knowledge. See, it's a fairly complicated subject, right?
Yeah.
So it's less like there's less number of people who can really put it forward, and then it's difficult to explain this compared to maybe equities. SIP is very easy to explain, right? Monthly you put
But
5,000.
the money you also want to pay in SIPs, like you can start with 4,000,
Exactly.
5,000,
Barriers to
20,000.
entry is
The
also low.
ticket size.
Yeah, barrier to entry is very easy.
Minimum is lakhs.
Yeah. Minimum is 20-25
You know,
lakhs.
people to write a brokerage checks also have a problem when their hands shake when you're writing checks, So consider putting
minimum
all of
there-
this lakhs of rupees into all of this. It's not easy.
It's a
Easy.
high capital gain.
Got it. Okay. To close this off, I want each one of you to talk about your independent cities, so Hyderabad, Bombay. You choose Bangalore or Delhi, whichever one, and talk to me about the next 10 years, what is going to happen in the city and why should we invest in your city?
If you want me to start with Hyderabad, then see, the next 10 years, the job growth in the tech sector is going to be robust. I'll put some statistics. Currently, 5.5 million tech jobs are what's the market looking like, and the requirement is 9.5 million. So there's a shortage of 4 million tech jobs. Majority of these jobs, good number of these jobs are going to come in Hyderabad. So given that there is a strong prospectus for job generation, a lot more people will move there, get jobs, and the requirement for real estate is going to shoot up. Next, the city has done enormous investment in terms of urban mobility, be it roads and public transport also. So which adds to convenience of moving point A to point B. Schools are cheaper. Safety wise, we are the best in the country, right? Because of such high degree of safety, and we have a special SHE teams also, particularly regarding women policing and safety for women. The average, most of the households are double income households. The woman also is working.
Okay. Yeah.
So hence more per capita, like more household income. So that way I would say Hyderabad is the best. So job opportunities, cost of living and safety, because of which women participation in labor workforce.
Okay. Mayank?
Look, I think Bombay is too big. There are too many regions, but it still is the big boy of, I would say, India in terms of being a financial capital. Now, when it comes to real estate, I would say if you're looking at investments, please look at the upcoming areas around Bombay. I would personally put my money in Navi Mumbai. I'm very bullish on extremely bullish on Navi Mumbai. You see, real estate is directly proportional to good infrastructure. But let me tell you something, it might sound stupid right now, the inverse is also true. Bad infrastructure also results in high real estate prices close to the central business district.
Yes, you're right.
The reverse is also true. I'll give you an example. Say there is BKC. Now, there is no connectivity from BKC to a Navi Mumbai, for example. No one will want to stay in a Navi Mumbai, given that BKC is the only central business district. You would therefore go close to BKC.
Yeah.
Bandra. Everyone going to Bandra, Max and Andheri. Because of which the prices in Bandra will go very high and the price in a Navi Mumbai will stay low. The disparity. Are you following? The day infra is built, and that's what's happening to Bombay right now. From your coastal roads to Atal Setu to Karanjar Revas Bridge to the Navi Mumbai airport. Mumbai is today in a phase of infra growth that we've not seen in the last 50 years. Alright? And Mumbai is slow because the freeway got launched when Eastern Freeway saw its sunrise in 2010.
Oh, okay.
Do you know when it was planned? 1967.
Wow. My dad was just born in
Imagine.
1960. He was born.
Now all these infrastructure, the permissions are faster, the government is pro-development, pro-infrastructure. With infra, you will see these prices which are at disparity catching up to a BKC. Today now, I can imagine vice presidents going to Navi Mumbai, staying there, driving through an Atal Setu and going, getting off and then going to a Lower Parel. So I see the pockets that are getting connected with this infra, which we've not seen in 70 years since independence. Those pockets are going to be a game-changing pocket.
Mr. Ravi?
Next 10 years? See,
What's going to happen to your crown?
What's going to happen to my crown? It's gonna have a Kohinoor in it. Okay. What I'm saying is that Mumbai has seen, after COVID, it has seen one of the best times in real estate that people can see in a generation. I have never seen a time like this ever. And I doubt I will see a time like this at least for another 20-25 years. A real estate cycle runs for around 18 years. Alright? I think at this point of time, real estate all across the country, whether it be Hyderabad, Bangalore, Mumbai, Chennai, anywhere, Delhi, Chandigarh, I think it has reached a peak. And I think now is the time where you want to sit back, relax, look at opportunities very clinically, like a surgeon would kind of stroke down into the right point and target that. So I would tell for the next 2 to 3 years, keep your eyes, keep your ears open. The infrastructure which is coming up across Mumbai, keep your eyes open for that. Make sure that the successes are happening. As Ajitesh said, get all your information correct. Use ChatGPT AI for your use. Don't fight the system, ride the system. Invest in the right place, gain at the right place, and create generational wealth, just not for yourself, but for your grandkids.
That's a nice TEDx speech.
That's a good pitch.
Yeah, that's a good pitch. No doubt.
Bangalore. So I feel first of all, looking at the current insights, if you see, Bangalore has one of the highest employable rates in India. Okay, and it's the first preference of any Gen Z or a millennial, if you talk about. Yes, Bangalore, yeah, it ranks as the first Gen Z friendly, I'm saying. Okay, city. And because they are the future, right, who's going to invest as well. And thirdly, it has highest number of commercial A-grade buildings, if you talk about. So development is quite high. And yeah, the IT boom. which keeps happening, including the startup ecosystem. I feel these are the forces that's going to keep driving Bangalore and the expressways that the government is trying to build, connecting various cities, the neighboring cities, right? So like the Chennai one, and there's so many more the government is working on. So I feel these are the things that will be in the next 10 years will keep booming Bangalore.
Okay.
I would say.
One city you'll not invest in?
Mumbai. Okay.
I would say Delhi.
Because she's a financial advisor, I forget.
Okay, Mumbai, Delhi.
Sir, I'm a real estate broker. You got money, I will take your money.
Okay.
I'm a developer. I'll pass that question. Where there's opportunity.
He'll build his own.
Yeah.
I invest.
Hopefully.
Alright guys, thank you so much.